Sportbike-like styling and performance with everyday comfort, that's the type of experience Honda offers with its 2019 CBR650R. Big Red's latest sport bike borrows lines from the CBR1000RR with a punchy, but more easy-to-live-with inline-four engine. It's well-suited to day-to-day life during workweek commutes, or for apex strafing missions on the weekend. Viewed from the front, it's easy to see the CBR family lines. The front end has a symmetrically shaped nose housing a pair of bold LED headlights and dual ram air intakes, just like its larger Supersport cousin, the CBR1000RR. Even though a lower fairing partially covers the header pipes, you can still see their clean, flowing tube lines through the panel slits. The upper half of the engine remains exposed, and we appreciate its chiseled look and tasteful two-tone mix of bronze and black. The shape of the frame rails resemble that of a higher-end twin-spar setup, however instead of alloy, it's stamped from steel. All told, the frame weighs 4.2 pounds less than the previous iteration. A stout-looking aluminum swing arm and thin, low overhang tail section appear equally as pleasing and is a fender eliminator kit away from perfection. In typical Honda fashion, fit and finish is top-notch, and on a level that is every bit as premium as a Japanese-built Honda. The CB/CBR650RS are both assembled at Honda's Thailand factory. The CBR650R uses the same purpose-built inline-four that powers Honda's CB650R naked bike. Despite sharing identical cylinder bore measurements as Honda's CBR600RR Supersport, 67mm, the engine internals are completely different, says Honda. It also features 3.5 mm longer piston stroke boosting displacement to 649 cubic centimeters. For 2019, it benefits from pistons with an updated crown shape. Valve timing and new camshaft profiles were also fitted. It breathes through a redesigned airbox with twin ram air intakes, instead of one. The air filter is 1.7 times larger and tilted downward by 20 degrees to reduce turbulence. The engine revs 1,000 RPM higher, with the limiter coming in at 12,800 RPM. Dyno testing reveals that this updated i4 is good for 80.1 horsepower at 10,950 RPM and 41.73 pound-feet torque at 8,170 RPM. That's 1.05 horsepower more than the previous configuration, but 0.74 pound-feet torque less peak torque. To be fair, the new engine arrives at its torque peak 570 RPM earlier. During our ride, we noted an average of 39.5 miles per gallon. Around town, the CBR's engine has a relatively punchy feel for a middleweight class inline-four. The engine feels